And now for an update on sports stories across the globe, Aron Akerejola joins us now all the way in Australia. Aron, good to see you. Welcome to the program. It looks like it's nighttime over there. Can you give us an update on everything we might have missed?
All right. Thank you very much, Hawa. I must actually say that as it stands right now, it's almost midnight here. It's just about 21 minutes past 11 p.m. here in Sydney, and I'm just in front of the International Convention Center where FIFA actually had activities run through the day today. And I must say it was quite enriching hearing their resource persons rise up and talk about the FIFA Women's Convention and how important women's football is to the entire footballing landscape, and how the Women's World Cup 2023 being hosted by Australia and New Zealand are shaping the narrative of women football moving forward. And we had the likes of Ian Wright there as one of the resource persons, of course, former Arsenal legend and a prolific goal scorer for while he was with Arsenal in the UK speak. And we had other key people actually speak about several major things concerning women football. But the highlight of it all was the fact that we had our Nigerian talking about Aisha Falode, a proponent of women football. She actually is a board member of the Nigeria Football Federation at the moment. She has actually headed women's football here back there in Nigeria. She also was a resource person speaking about how important it is for diversity and also leadership and inclusion, and how over the years Nigeria has actually led the trend in Africa in terms of diversity, inclusion, and bringing women into governance and leadership positions to help make things happen. I must actually say it was quite enriching, and a lot of people were in awe of what she actually produced in terms of her resource paper. And kudos to Aisha Falode. She's always pushed women football, and she didn't disappoint on the global stage to actually make Africa's voice, Nigeria's voice, get heard on the big stage. Away from that, let's actually talk. It's really cold here, I must actually say. I'm just trying to brave the weather. It's almost midnight here. But away from that, all eyes right now is literally centered on the game that will be going on tomorrow, because the Matildas, talking about the co-host of this particular tournament, the Matildas of Australia, will be taking on Sweden, that also lost another semifinals. We know that the Matildas lost to the Three Lions of England, and they felt pain because the nation were expected that they will rise to the occasion. But the Three Lions of England got the better of the Matildas, talking about Australia and as a co-host, but they would have to settle for what we in football call the losers final. And that will be happening tomorrow. It is in Brisbane, in Queensland. A lot is expected from that particular game, because if the Matildas have missed off on the opportunity to go for the biggest prize after losing to England 3-1, certainly they will be hoping that they can pick up the third place trophy in this particular competition. That will be happening tomorrow, or probably tomorrow morning. There very quietly in Nigeria. And the big one still has to be what is going to be happening with the Lionesses of England, having punched their tickets to the finals, having done that for the very first time in their history, on the cups of doing something great, because the male have failed to dominate in world football for decades on end. The last time they actually got a major trophy for England was back in 1966. And they will be hoping that Serena Wiegman and the Chargers will be able to do that. But dominating discussions leading up to this particular finals has to be the fact that at the moment, wages are still being contended, and talks about what the Lionesses of England will get, having punched their way to the finals. Because as it stands right now, Nike, the sportswear giants, are on track to pay the English FA $1 million in bonuses because of the performances of the Lionesses and their charges at the 2023 Women's World Cup in Australia and New Zealand. And with the FA in England insisting and saying that they will not pay the players any sort of performance bonus, no thanks to the fact that FIFA has promised the players that whatever you get, you get paid. If you actually play in the group stages, you get $30,000. If you advance to the next round, $60,000. And the Lionesses haven't got to the finals, will be earning well over $200,000. And they're still asking that the federation should do them right by paying some wages and paying performance bonuses, which the FA has refused. But right now that particular clause in the contract that was signed in 2016 is actually kicked in, a lot of questions are being asked. Will the FA still be defiant and insist that the women will not be paid their due worth? We know how much the controversy has actually raged in Nigeria concerning what the Super Falcons were going to get in this particular tournament, but we know that it is guaranteed that they will be getting at least $60,000 from FIFA, thanks to the fact that they got into the round of 16 in this FIFA competition, and also the $10,000 that was promised by the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, who has promised that $10,000 to the players, $2,500 to the athletes, to the officials. So at the moment, it's going to be
Aron.
money reigns. But finally, before I come to you quickly, we must actually touch on this. The biggest news out of Nigeria has to be the fact that Toby Amuson has been cleared. And tomorrow, she will be flying to Hungary and also Budapest, because one particular body, the Athletics Integrity Unit, have decided that she's been given the green light to go ahead, and all the talks about doping or failing 3 whereabouts has been put aside. Although the IAU head, Mr. Chibnall, has said he's not happy about this. One thing is certain: Toby Amuson will be defending the trophy, or will defending the medal she won last year.
That's very good news.
Eugene, Oregon.
That's very good news. Our sports correspondent, Aron Akerejola, reporting live from Sydney. Thank you so much for joining us on Newsday.